Space News 93. The situation of planet Earth in detail. Hello, thank you for being here with me once more. I hope you are very well today. This is Marie, the original and the only one, with another edition of Space News. Welcome to my channel. This information can be seen as science fiction, or as the viewer sees best, and I post it for entertainment purposes only. Still, I take my information very seriously, and for whoever has eyes to see. Although they may devise theories about me, I remain the same, and with this YouTube channel, nothing has changed. I am writing this on the morning of August 1st, 2025. This is the situation planet Earth is in at the moment. This information and data are based on the best conclusions and the evidence the Triad, Antares, Urmah Confederation, and Taygeta Alcyon Council have managed to recollect in these last few months, and it is the result of extensive research done with some information coming from Earth, and the extensive data we recollected up in space and among the complex exopolitical situation at hand. The information coming from Earth is only used to contrast with the evidence we have up here in orbit, and to measure the level of awareness of the researchers in this field and of the general population regarding Earth's situation. In general, researchers on Earth have little to no clue about what is going on, as they are nearly all locked into their fixed expectations and peer-acceptable theories that simply do not hold water and do not reflect what is really happening. There are a few exceptions to this. There are some who may have partial knowledge about what is happening, and why they have it, and why it is more or less accurate is another story. The leaders of the Triad carefully discussed this data, and these are the conclusions. For the first time, I can provide a comprehensive and accurate account of the entire situation. However, each aspect of this will be discussed by me in even further detail in future videos, as the data is very extensive and it is impossible to publish in only one video. I will now proceed directly to it. The Earth has already been invaded by regressive extraterrestrial entities belonging to one single alliance with several different star races, who may or may not get along well among themselves all the time, and they are all based on the regressive side of the Orion Council, and others with the same affinity and interests. The invasion was done under the radar and the very noses of the positive aspects and members of the Galactic Federation, even while they were orbiting the planet at a close distance, and it was done so using propaganda and a progressive movement, placing their assets in positions of power for a long time, and this was done patiently. The moment of the invasion is unclear, even more so as it was done slowly and not in a direct hostile military way, and timeframes are dubious at least, even more so as the official timeline of Earth is highly inaccurate, but we suspect it all started with the infamous Tiamat Wars, which resulted in the destruction of that planet and the formation of the asteroid belt with the remaining debris, and which officially happened some 12,500 years ago, although I am highly skeptical about this number. From then on, the invasive forces that resided, and still reside underground, and in their home planets have been slowly guiding and manipulating humankind for it to manifest the reality they want and which is appropriate to their needs. In other words, they terraformed planet Earth and its inhabitants using mind control, and with a lot of patience, as the invaders live much longer lives than Earth humans, who die young mostly as a result of the high-stress environment and culture they live in, and the high amount of toxins they are exposed to. This terraforming and species-forming mind control was imposed and exerted onto the population mostly through high-fear manipulative tactics using established religions, and I mean all of them with no exception, including science as it is seen on Earth, and New Age manipulative propaganda as well. I accept that there are good aspects of those, or there may be, But in general and on a global scale, they have done far more damage than good and have been highly destructive. What those Orion-based invaders want from planet Earth is not its resources, as many researchers claim. What they want is to exploit the human soul, the innate great capacity of human beings to manifest, transform, and create reality, with their closeness to the greater source. Those invaders are so regressive that they have lost all connection to source, and now need to manipulate those who do have a connection, so they manifest the reality they want and need. In other words, what they want is humankind's soul, as they don't have one. That is the reason why they are so interested in humanity. They have managed to infiltrate themselves into planet Earth, and have managed to infiltrate themselves into several parts of the Galactic Federation, as we have all seen, but not all of it. The invaders manipulate the Galactic Federation at large to make them believe that what is happening on Earth is the fault and the wish of humankind. Unfortunately, there is some truth to this, as we will see later on. Through manipulation and propaganda on Earth and off-planet, the regressive invaders from Orion have managed to turn nearly all the scenarios in their favor, where the Galactic Federation, in its most expanded version, ended up protecting them and working for them, in the name of non-intervention against humankind's alleged free development. The invaders from Orion first established separation inside planet Earth, dividing it into states, regions, and nations, with different languages, all for manipulative purposes and to destroy the rich local culture and identity of the people, to impose manipulative fear. When things didn't go their way and the situation got out of hand, when too many human beings realized what was going on and rebelled against them, the invaders proceeded to create both soft and violent social and planetary reset events, to erase the memory of the people, and to try another strategy until at least most of the planet was under their control, and that is how things are today. Right now, planet Earth is nearly completely under their manipulative control, as they have infiltrated every aspect of society. They control every nation on Earth from under the table, from where they create false rivalry among them, to create an adequate stage of fear for the population, as people in fear are much easier to manipulate. The purpose of war is war itself. The reason for war is false, but the suffering and the consequences are real, and that is the whole point of it. This false rivalry is also present among the invading star races, as they have falsely divided the Earth and its nations into two main rival blocks, the West and the East. This was very clear during the Cold War era, but it is still relevant today, although the nations involved are not necessarily physically together, as they are more scattered around the planet, a fact which is convenient for the invaders, as it creates more of the conflict they need. Allegedly, each one of the two factions of invaders controls a block of nations on Earth, which are set against each other artificially, while making believe that those different Orion invaders are also against each other, when it is mostly more manipulative theater, although they may also have their genuine differences among each other, but from way above, they all agree and cooperate as they are all members of the infamous Orion Council. They control all of planet Earth, with a few meager powerless exceptions, and what they are doing now, or will do next, is to make their full planetary control official and recognized. And this is what the new globe order is all about. This will bring total manipulation and full control over the reality manifestation powers of humankind, industrializing fear and suffering for maximum efficiency. They have managed to mesh all the cultures of Earth into one single social mass with the same interests, needs, and artificially controlled problems, and now proceed to develop a one globe government. And this is why they are so interested in destroying cultural heritage, regional and national identity and so on, as we can see with the artificially hyped immigrant problem, among other things. They have managed this global cultural equalization mostly through the internet. Right now, the Orion invaders control just about all of planet Earth, and they seem to proceed with their evil plans even though a small fraction of the mighty Galactic Federation has detected their evil intentions, and has managed to take control over the space around Earth, and that would be us, the Triad. The invaders consist of many Orion region-based species, and as there are apparently so many, even we have not managed to identify all of them. However, the main species involved are coming from two main branches, the gray alien species, especially the tall ones, commonly called Maitre, and the Atorthan big-nosed greys, and on the other hand, reptile-based species, such as the Caterian and the Kingu, which in reality are mammals which resemble a reptile, and the Dracos, which are full reptiles. Among others, but not the Alpha Dracos. I must be clear with this, although they are nowhere to be seen at this time. There are also some opportunistic anthropological star races involved with this mess, like the orange-skinned humanoids, and the Malakak, also known as the tall whites, which are constantly seen among those other invader races, and which are notoriously sloppy at hiding their presence. All of those mentioned regressive and invasive star races are operating mostly through underground installations equipped with jump rooms and portals, which explains why our orbital starship blockade is not effective. At this time, most positive Federation star races are still under the influence of the propaganda that those invasive star races have managed to impose on all of them, using other useful idiot star races to share and disseminate it. Those useful idiot star races, which I'd rather not name, are still falling for all the loopholes in space law and all the holes in the Federation's rules and regulations those invasive Orion star races are using, which causes the Federation itself to prolong and even protect the invaders who, in other circumstances, would be easy to evict by force, by an overwhelming Galactic Federation alliance. This causes the Triad to always be working as if stepping on eggshells, and always under the monitoring of countless other Galactic Federation star races who are still under the influence of the propaganda of those Orion-based invasive star races. This is why we must always do everything by the book. Most Galactic Federation star races still believe that what is happening on Earth is the consequence of human behavior only, and do not take into account the highly manipulative influence of the Orion invaders, who are now quite exposed, and each time more and more star races are beginning to open their eyes about the reality of the situation planet Earth is in. But that is a process which may take time humankind does not have. As space law and the rules and regulations of the Galactic Federation dictate, we cannot intervene in favor of humanity without its direct consent, which must be given in a way I am not even allowed to disclose because it could be seen as manipulation, and this is a fact that frustrates me quite a lot, even more so as I see a double standard at work here, and in favor of the invaders and the regressive side, all of it, big and small, where they are apparently allowed to manipulate all they want. That double standard deserves an entire upcoming video, as it also affects star seeds and positive spiritual people. This direct consent that must be given in a very specific way is also rigged in favor of the regressive side because it limits the capacity and the value of those awakened ones, in favor of those who are working with the system. So it looks as if those and their matrixed opinions were more valid than the points of view of the highly aware starseeds and spiritual people. I am eager to explain this in detail, but I am not allowed to. In this moment, the Triad conserves full control over the space around Earth, while 500 Orion-based starships surround the planet, awaiting orders. All of them come from the general region of Orion and Zeta Reticuli A and B. The Antarians, the Urmah, and the Taygetans remain stable and in control of the space around Earth, but are not allowed to intervene directly, as that would be seen as an invasion, not as a liberation force. Nevertheless, we still operate on the surface of Earth and below in favor of humanity. And about the rescues, for now, I cannot mention anything about them, again, because of the double standard, where if I talk about them, it is bad, and if I do not, it is also bad. I am terribly sorry not to be able to be clear with this, and only be able to drop small breadcrumbs. From another relativistic point of view, everything that is going on is being created and manifested by the chaotic collective unconscious of humankind, and from that point of view, they are the creators of everything that is going on, and everywhere. From this relativistic point of view, all troubles, suffering, conflicts, and schisms are being spawned into reality by humankind's manifestation powers, rooted in their vast imagination. Their fear of facing themselves and their own collective and personal dark shadows is only manifesting nightmares for them all. The problem must be solved from within. There is no other way. All that positive star races can do is remove the external interference and give a hand to as many people as we can. And we are hard at work with that, despite all the best efforts to stop us, coming from the cabal and its useful idiots, which are found both in space and on the surface of the planet. Mentioning something else. At this time, there is no news about the small Zeta Greys known as the Gardeners. A big hug, and I cannot thank you enough for assisting us. This will be all for today. As always, thank you for watching my video, and for liking, sharing, and subscribing for more. It helps this channel grow a lot. And I hope to see you here next time. With much love and appreciation, your friend, Marie, the original, the real one, and the only one.